Imagine getting under Francesco Totti's skin to the point where he literally wanted to cut off one of your legs. Well, hell, that's just how provocative Mario Balotelli was. Super Mario, as he's often called, had all the talent in the world to be considered one of the best players ever. However, his antics both on and off the field stopped him from fulfilling his full potential, resulting in his career spiraling down. Undoubtedly, Balotelli is one of the most problematic players ever to exist, and for that, we decided to go on a journey through his career and discover all the controversial events he has gotten himself into. Mario's tough upbringing played a huge part in shaping his unique character. He was born to Ghanaian immigrants on August 12, 1990 in Palermo, Sicily. 3 years later, he was placed in foster care, as his biological parents could no longer pay for his healthcare needs. Mario grew up with hatred in his heart towards both of his parents. In 2010, he said, "If I hadn't become the football star Mario Balotelli, they wouldn't have cared what happened to me." Yep, Mario really didn't like his birth parents. Super Mario found refuge in football though, and at age just 15, he was promoted to Lumizane's first team and debuted in the Serie C against Padova on April 2nd, 2006. After an unsuccessful trial with Barcelona in 2005, Mario was signed later on by Inter Milan on loan in 2006, and in June 2007, Inter made that move permanent for €360,000. And as expected, it did not take long for Mario to showcase his talent at Inter. He first started grabbing highlights when he scored 2 goals against Juventus in the return leg of the Coppa Italia quarterfinals. He was also crucial in Inter's 2008 Supercoppa win against Roma, after he came on as a substitute to score the 83rd minute equaliser for his club. However, despite his obvious talent on the pitch, Super Mario's disciplining issues started to influence his career, especially when a manager like Jose Mourinho was in charge. And this didn't take long. The Portuguese ended up excluding Balotelli from first-team training in January 2009. Mourinho's primary issue with Balotelli was his lack of discipline and effort during training sessions. The relationship between the manager and the player never got any better. Balotelli even got stick from his teammates, including club captain Javier Zanetti, who urged young forward to get his head down and work hard. Despite Mario and Mourinho not having a great time together at Inter, the Portuguese admitted that his experience with the striker was nothing but comedy. Perhaps the funniest moment was when Jose spent 14 minutes of the 15 available during the halftime break trying to convince Mario to not get a red card, because he was the only striker available in the squad. And guess what? 1 minute into the second half, Mario was sent off. The 2009-2010 season was when everything fell apart between Balotelli and Inter. First, it was the racist chants he had to deal with in the different stadiums in Italy. Then Inter fans heavily criticised him after he publicly wore an AC Milan shirt on an Italian show. The final straw was when he threw his shirt on the ground after Inter's game against Barcelona, responding to Inter fans who booed him for his poor performance. On August 12, 2010, 20-year-old Mario signed for Manchester City and was reunited with his former manager Roberto Mancini. The player made just 17 league appearances that season due to knee problems, suspensions and illness. However, he managed to produce some memorable moments. On December 21st, 2010, Super Mario won the Golden Boy Award. However, what was more memorable than his win were his comments. He stated that only one of the past winners was slightly better than him, and that player was of course Lionel Messi. The Italian also claimed that he had no idea who Jack Wilshere was, the player who came second to Mario in the awards. Well, you think that's funny? Wait till you hear this. Balotelli's house caught on fire on the eve of the Manchester City derby, as the player tried to set off some fireworks inside his bathroom. Funnily enough, he led Manchester City to a historic 6-1 win at Old Trafford. He scored the opening 2 goals, then lifted his shirt to do the iconic "Why Always Me" celebration. And what makes this story even funnier is that Balotelli was chosen to be the face of the fireworks safety adverts in the run-up to the bonfire night on the 5th of November. Balotelli was just like the Joker in that Manchester City squad. He was punished for throwing darts at youth players. Yes, you heard that right. He also got in serious altercations with Micah Richards and even his manager Mancini. He was also sent off 4 times in 17 months. Even defenders don't average red cards this high. Oh, and how could we forget his skill during the Manchester City friendly game with LA Galaxy? Mancini was so furious that he instantly took him off the field. During the 2012-2013 Premier League season, Balotelli failed to register a single assist throughout the entire league campaign, but we believe that this was totally worth it. His first and only assist came in the 94th minute after he set Aguero up through on goal to give the title to the citizens at the last breath. Mario's time in Manchester City ended in a tense situation. You know, nothing new for Super Mario. During the 2012-2013 season, City decided to fine Mario 2 weeks' wages for his poor disciplining record during the previous season. However, that did not go down well with Balotelli, and he decided to fight against the club's decision. On January 29, 2013, an agreement was reached between City and AC Milan for the transfer of the player for €20 million. Things seemed to get better for Balotelli when he joined his childhood club. Balotelli had a warm welcome and was considered to be back home. He finished his first season with Milan with 12 goals in 13 appearances during the second half of the campaign. However, the following season season, things started to go downhill again for Mario. Despite having his highest return in a single league campaign with 14 goals in 30 appearances, his antics on and off the field once again affected his stay in Milan. Mario was caught smoking cigarettes during his team train down to Fiorentina. He also was hit with a 3-game suspension for arguing with match officials following a 2-2 draw, and was even captured crying on the bench when he was substituted against Napoli. His performances, especially with the Italian national team, forced AC Milan to look for a way to offload him, even if that meant they won't make any profit on the 24-year-old. Oh, and how can we forget? The forward posted an Instagram picture pointing a gun to the camera with the caption, "Big kiss to all the haters." And of course, this post sparked massive uproar in AC Milan's fanbase. In 2014, Mario returned to England and joined Liverpool for €20 million. He spent a single season at the Merseyside club where he managed to score a single Premier League goal. This short stay didn't stop him from being fined for an image he posted on social media, which appeared to contain an anti-Semitic and racist reference. Mario returned to AC Milan on loan in the following season. Still, he failed to make an impression again before returning to Liverpool, where the new manager Jurgen Klopp refused to add him to the pre-season squad. Balotelli joined Nice in 2016 in an attempt to salvage his career, but he wouldn't be Mario Balotelli if he didn't take a dig at his former club. The striker admitted that joining Liverpool was his worst career mistake, and that Brendan Rodgers and Jurgen Klopp did not impress him. Never change, Mario, never change. He rediscovered his form with Nice, scoring 43 goals in 76 appearances during his first 2.5 years at the club. He then joined Marseille in January 2019 before leaving for Brescia just 6 months later. At the end of the 1920 season, Balotelli was relegated with his club, which led to his contract being terminated. He then joined Serie B side Monza on a 7-month contract before joining Adana Demirspor in Turkey, where he scored an unbelievable Rabona goal that went viral. I'm sure you've definitely seen it. And now this brings us to present day, where the forward is now on a 2-year contract for Swiss super club Sion, and he has scored 5 goals in just 14 appearances so far this season. From his goal and postman celebration against Germany in the 2012 Euros to his bicycle kick goal and selfie video with Marseille, Mario Balotelli has provided us with some unforgettable moments throughout his career. Unfortunately, his tough childhood, the racism he received from fans, and the constant media pressure on him created a colossal obstacle for the player's development. So who knows what heights Balotelli could have reached if he was 100% focused on football. So please share your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos from Think Football.